I've kind of showed you this before. Now, right now I'm in the book of Daniel, and I just read something that made me go to this. So right now, obviously, I'm teaching people how to destroy all bacteria and viruses, but they won't listen to me because my name's not Anthony Fauci, and I'm not on CNN, and I'm not rich and famous. This is in Ecclesiastes right here. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and few men within it. And there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, Wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise men are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. Like I said, if I was on TV, or if my name was Dr. Anthony Fauci, and I told you to forget the masks, but to burn essential oils and put them on your skin everywhere you go, then you would do it. And everybody's businesses would do it, and everybody would be happy. So this was, so we know that Nebuchadnezzar, he repented, and he inherited the kingdom of heaven. But then Belshazzar, no, not so much. I won't read everything to you here, but let's just go right here. The queen remembers Daniel. Now remember, before earlier in the Babylonian kingdom, Daniel was very powerful because the king could rely on him to interpret dreams. But Belshazzar forgot all about it. Belshazzar. So, by the way, this is after the writing on the wall. And I love this verse right here. I'll just read both. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace, and the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. I love this, verse 6. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. That reminds me of that look on Jeb Bush's face at the funeral, when they read the little notes. Remember Barbara Bush and Jeb Bush and George? That's what happened. Right there. Their countenance were changed, and the joints of their loins were loosed, and their knees smote one against another. Okay, that's the fun stuff. Let's get to the... Alright. So the king, he wants to find someone who can interpret, so he calls in the Chaldeans, the astrologers, all the wise men of Babylon, right? Chaldean soothsayers. They can't do it, because they're a bunch of frauds. But Daniel has always been able to do it because he serves the real God. Now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house, and the queen spake and said, O king, live forever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and in the days of thy father light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy father, the king, I say, thy father, made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. For as much as an excellent spirit and knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams, and shewing of hard sentences, and dissolving of doubts, were found in the same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will shew the interpretation. And he did. He did shew the interpretation, all right? He told Belteshazzar, guess what? Your history, buddy. Because see, when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne. And see, you're talking about Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from the sons of men. All those things happened to him. And then he repented. And thou his son, O Belshazzar, hast not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this, but hast lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven. Well, remember I showed you before. Instead of lifting up his pride, Nebuchadnezzar lifted up his eyes unto heaven. And his understanding returned unto him. And Nebuchadnezzar extolled Jehovah, called him the King of heaven instead of the Queen of heaven, which the Babylonians worshiped the Queen of heaven. So, moral of the story is here, look, Belshazzar had Daniel the whole time, and he didn't even know who this guy was. The queen had to tell him who he was. And just like I showed you in Ecclesiastes, people don't know who I am, so they won't listen to me, although what I'm telling everybody is the truth. All right. Have a good day, guys. God bless you.